Hey everyone, it's me, Micaela. Thank you so much for joining me. I just wanted to share another short video just to encourage you all. I've really been thinking about this time with us staying home and just not being able to go out. And I just sense how it's really having a toll on people. We're worried about family members getting sick, we're worried about our children, and also for ourselves. It's so easy to just get caught up in the day to day, and with everything being so different, it's so easy to be upset, be irritated, and lose our joy. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to ask you, what happens when your joy is gone? So whether you believe it or not, our circumstances try to steal our joy away. And you have to choose, even when you don't feel like it, you have to choose joy. And when I say joy, I don't mean happiness, because personally, I don't think that joy and happiness are the same thing. So many people seek happiness through their relationships, they seek it through a job title, a degree, or material things. So, what happens when those things are stripped away from you? It's easy to not remain happy any longer. And in this time, people have lost their jobs. People working in healthcare, maybe you work at the grocery store and you're just working longer hours and you're exhausted and you're tired. Or even for moms, us moms who we're with our children all day, maybe you have little ones and you just can't seem to get a break. And it's easy in those times. Maybe right now you're stressed out because you're not sure how you're going to pay your bills. And so it's easy for your joy to just be stripped away. And it's easy to no longer be happy because certain things are gone. And so, what's the difference between joy and happiness? Well, joy is a feeling of great pleasure, and happiness is also a feeling. Actually, when I looked up the true definition of happiness, all it said is a feeling of being happy. So it obviously could not explain to me what happiness is. But I don't think that they're the same. I think it's so easy to be happy. You're happy because something good happened. You're happy because you got a promotion. You're happy because you got the car that you always wanted. You're happy. But have you ever noticed that happiness tends to kind of go away after a little bit? Like, I know when my husband and I bought our home, we were so happy because it was our first home. And for all of you that are homeowners, you know that feeling that you get. You look at the house, you love it, you just picture yourself in there, and then you get it. You get to be in the house, your first home. It's this, like, it's almost this feeling that, yes, I've arrived to adulthood, right? At least that's what society tells us anyway. And so, after a while, you're living in your house, and then it just becomes the normal, the normalcy. It becomes the everyday thing, right? And so that's what I mean. I mean that you were once so excited, you were happy, and then it's gone. It's gone just like that. And so it's hard to explain the feeling of happiness, right? Or what if, like, when you get into that relationship with that guy that you really like, or that girl that you really like, and you're happy, but then they start to get on your nerves, you're not happy anymore. So that's what I mean by the feeling of happiness tends to go away. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm super grateful for the home I live in. So, I'm every day grateful, and I thank God because I love where I live. And so that's what I meant by the happiness goes away. So with joy, to me, when you choose to have joy, when you choose to have that regardless of your circumstances, it truly changes things. And so that's why you have to be determined that you're going to choose joy no matter what. And so I believe one thing and one key to choosing joy is to have gratitude. What do I mean by that? Having a grateful heart can change your perspective on life. It can teach you to choose joy no matter what your circumstances. So it's incredible how, the power of our mind, the mental power that we have to say, man, this thing went wrong, but I'm going to choose to be grateful. Even if in that moment you choose to be grateful, but you don't feel happy, the perspective of gratitude, it changes something inside of you and it changes something in your psyche. And I believe that because I've learned that from experience. And so I wanted to share a verse with you. It's Proverbs 17:22. And like I said last time, if you don't have a Bible, you can Google it. But Proverbs 17:22 says, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. What does that mean? Well, I looked up in the commentary, and as I began to read, as I began to research, what does this mean, and really try to dissect it? Well, it told me that even in the medical field, scientifically, people will say that when you are sad, or when you are angry, or when you have all these feelings of sadness and not feeling happy, it can literally make your body sick. And so isn't that amazing? And I'm not saying that people are sick because of not having joy, but I'm saying that joy can be good medicine for your body. It can help you be healthy, because what happens when you're sad? You don't want to do anything. You don't have motivation. You're just upset and pondering on the thing that's upsetting you, or the thing that's making you sad, because there's no joy there, right? But what does medicine do? When my children have gotten a fever as babies, or when they were very small, I would give them Motrin, right? Why? Because it was medicine. And although it wasn't going to take the fever away, it was going to make them comfortable. And so maybe we should look at it in that sense, that having gratitude and that allowing us to choose joy will make us comfortable, even in hard circumstances, like right now, in these times of uncertainty, where they're telling us, hey, you're going to have to stay home for another month. And who knows, they might tell us next month, hey, you're going to have to stay home till May or June. And so a lot of us our kids have birthdays coming up, or I heard on the radio this lady missed her son's wedding. They're not even sure if they are getting married or not. So it's just a lot of stuff that can take our joy away. And the rest of the verse, Proverbs 17:22, says, a crushed spirit dries up the bones. What does that mean? So am I saying that if you're not happy, if you're not filled with joy, that like you're gonna shrivel and die? Well, if you're not healthy because you have these feelings of sadness, you're choosing to, kind of look things through the lens of disappointment, then yeah, maybe you won't feel that motivation to work out, right? And so I'm not a Bible scholar at all, but I'm sharing my heart by what these scriptures have spoken to me. And so a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. When you're not happy, when you don't feel joy inside, when you don't feel gratitude, your spirit is crushed. You're inside, your mind and your spirit is crushed. And that's kind of what happens when you're depressed, except it's much harder to get out of it. You can't just choose joy or choose to be grateful when you're depressed, because that's sometimes a clinical thing. It's a mental health problem. And so I'm speaking in terms of in these times where many of you have lost your jobs, or maybe your pay is lower, you don't know how you're going to pay things. Choose joy and choose gratitude, because if you're watching this, you have a computer, you have internet, right? Or you have a phone that has access to it. So there are even little things to be grateful for in these times. Romans 15:32 says, so that I may come to you with joy by God's will and in your company be refreshed. This verse is telling us that when we have joy, for one, it's God's plan that you have joy, that you choose to have joy. God doesn't want you to be sad. God is in control of the situation, believe it or not. But the joy and the gratitude almost kind of gives you this, unload, this sense of, okay, I got this off my chest. This is bothering me, but I'm going to choose gratitude. I'm going to choose to be grateful for the little things. And in that way, you're refreshed because you kind of unload those feelings. And so, what does the word gratitude mean? Well, it's the quality of being thankful, to show appreciation, right? It's a quality. And you can think of it in terms of a quality feeling. But I just wanted to encourage you all because I know it's so easy. And that's why I've actually, being stuck at home, I've decided I'm going to try to encourage you all, whoever wants to watch, whoever wants to listen to the podcast, that's how I try to share my thoughts with you all. And that's how I try to choose joy, right? Because we have to be there for each other right now. We have to show love and be there for each other and just remind each other that we're going to get through this time. And so we just have to be grateful. Let's be grateful for the little things. And so that's all I wanted to share today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. You can subscribe to my channel. Let me know that you're here. You can also email me. So if you have a prayer request or if you just want to chat, my email is coffeewithmika@gmail, COFFEEWITHMICA@gmail. Thank you so much, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening.